Frankie and the Wishing Orb by Kieran Birrell. Dedicated to Frank Birrell, my dad, and my Nana Betty, his mum, for all the great times we've shared, and for making us who we are. Frankie was skinny and speedy and lively all day, with bright blue eyes shining and black hair astray. He loved kicking footballs and racing for fun, and once he got going, he just couldn't be done. But tucked by his bed with a glittering glow was an orb full of magic that swirled soft and slow. It came from his mum, lovely Betty, with care, a gift full of love, as if she was still there. One morning he grinned and said, "This is my day. I wish I could football the very best way. The best kicks, the best tricks, the finest by far. A footballing genius, a dazzling young star." The orb gave a twinkle, a whoosh and a whirl. Then magic spun round in a glittering swirl. At play on the pitch, he could dribble and dash, with flicks and with tricks, and a lightning fast flash. He zigged and he zagged, and he shot every time. He scored and he roared, "Look at me, I'm sublime!" But soon all his teammates just stood there and sighed, for Frankie kept showing off, hogging with pride. Then Frankie looked round and his smile slipped away. His friends were not laughing or joining the play. So he passed with a grin, and they cheered every kick. That night the orb dimmed by the tiniest tick. Next morning Frankie bounced and said, "Today I wish to zoom, the fastest feet in all the world. I'll flash from room to room. I'll whiz like the wind, I'll streak like the light. I'll rocket round the town, no runner, racer, bus or bike will ever slow me down." The orb went zing and sparkled bright, then whooshed around his toes, and off shot Frankie in a blur, as quick as any goes. He zipped past dogs and footballs, left swirly trails behind, a streak of socks and messy hair, too speedy to be timed. He shot past puddles, bunting, cakes, and one enormous hound, then skidded through a picnic spread and spun the snacks around. He couldn't stop for corners, chats, or crossing with due care, and soon his super speedy wish caused chaos everywhere. At last he stopped and took a breath. Too fast is far from fun. I miss the laughs, the little chats, the joy of every one. He learned that slowing down a bit helps you see and care. That night the orb glowed just a touch less bright beside him there. One morning Frankie groaned, "I simply must confess, I'm tired of shirts and socks and toys and all this awful mess. I wish that tidying vanished. No chores, no putting things away, no folding, stacking, sorting up, just fun from day to day." The orb went whoosh and twinkled gold, then magic spun about, and every shelf and cupboard seemed to tip its jumble out. Socks, crayons, books, and football boots flew tumbling in a heap, while Frankie laughed, "No tidying! This wish is mine to keep!" But soon the room was topsy-turvy, wild from wall to wall. He tripped on socks, his football vanished, he couldn't find his ball. A sandwich hid beneath his kit, one trainer lost its pair, and Frankie cried, "This giant mess is chaos everywhere!" So Frankie sighed. "A tidy room makes life much easier for me. It leaves more space for games and fun and helps me see things clearly." He put each thing back where it belonged and smiled with happy pride. That night the orb glowed just a touch less bright by Betty's picture side. Then Frankie licked his lips and cried, "Today I make this plea. I wish for sweets and cakes and treats as far as I can see. No apples, peas, or porridge, please. No boring, crunchy bites. Just chocolate, jelly beans, and fudge from morning through till night. The orb gave out a sugary sparkle, fizzed and flashed with glee. Then jars and trays of yummy sweets appeared for Frankie to see. There were lollies, chews, and toffees, cakes with icing piled up high, and Frankie gobbled every treat with wide and shining eye. But soon his tummy rumbled hard, his teeth felt strange and sore. His room was sticky, crumbs were everywhere, and wrappers hit the floor. He felt too full for football, too queasy now to play, and all that sweet and squishy stuff just got in every way. So Frankie said, "A little treat is lovely now and then, but far too many sweets can stop your fun and make you poorly, friend." He chose some fruit, drank water too, and saved a bite to share. That night the orb glowed just a touch less bright by Betty's picture there. Then Frankie puffed his chest and said, "Today I make the rules. I'll be the boss of everything, of games and beds and schools. I'll tell the teams where they must stand, who kicks and who must wait. And everyone will do as I say, because I'll be first rate." The orb went flash and fizzed with gold, then off the magic sped, and Frankie barked out orders with a captain's crown on his head. "You stand here, you pass there, no laughing, march in line." But all his friends looked cross and thought, "This bossy game's not fine." But soon the game went floppy flat. No one would run or play. His teammates slumped, the jokes were gone, and smiles all slipped away. A bossy voice had chased the fun and pushed his friends apart, and Frankie felt a lonely lump grow heavy in his heart. So Frankie said, "A better way is listening, taking turns. A leader cheers and helps his mates. That's what a good friend learns." He asked his friends to choose and play, and soon they laughed with glee. That night the orb glowed just a touch less bright by Betty's frame to see. That evening when the games were done, he tiptoed up the stair. The orb gave just a tiny blink, a weaker, softer flare. Its swirly light seemed paper thin, its hum a gentle sigh, and Frankie felt a funny wobble flutter somewhere deep inside. Next morning Frankie tried once more. "Please, orb, make my wishes fly." He waited for the whoosh and zing, the glitter in the sky. But all it gave was one small spark and one pale golden thread, then drooped like sleepy fireflies beside his mother's bed. He held it close and whispered low, "Please don't fade away. You help me through my muddles every single wish-filled day." He thought of boots and racing feet and sweets and bossy plays, and how each muddle somehow turned to wiser, brighter days. That night the orb was small and dim, a marble made of moon, its golden glow a bedtime hush, as if it knew too soon. Frankie watched beside Betty's frame and whispered, "Are you done?" The room went still, the orb stayed warm, but almost lost its sun. The orb gave one last shimmer, then a tiny trail of light, and letters curled like fireflies and glowed into the night. Frankie gasped and read the note that floated soft and true. It said, "My lovely boy, be brave. The magic lives in you." The wishes helped you learn and grow, to share, be fair and kind. Now keep that light inside your heart and use your thoughtful mind. I'm always near, my Frankie boy, in every brave thing you do. Love always, Mum. Frankie smiled and knew her words were true. So Frankie laced his boots and showed the things his heart now knew. He shared the ball, He helped his mates and cheered them through and through. He listened first, took turns with smiles, and made sure all could shine. And every happy, kindly choice felt like a little wish come true. And sometimes Frankie joked, if socks could pair themselves, hooray! But then he'd laugh and match them up the ordinary way. The orb sat still, the room stayed warm, love twinkled soft and true, and Frankie knew the best kind of magic lived in all that he would do.